when you said you had worked under Andrew Banks, what were some of the things that you saw in his leadership that, either good or bad, but what were some of the qualities that you saw? Um,
Look, Andrew and his co-founder Jeff Morgan, they were incredible leaders, and I'm so grateful that my first real job in my mid-20s was actually under them. And what was incredible about their leadership was there was a culture that was the same wherever you went. So it was a big business in Melbourne. There were over 300 staff on 2 floors. Sydney was bigger again.
mm,
Brisbane was about half the size of Melbourne. But wherever you went, the culture didn't change. And that's formidable. And all of us who went through that still call ourselves Morgies. So that was number one. I learned that excellence is the goal. So close enough was not good enough. Um, there was a training system when you became a consultant that you almost had to do like mini MBA. It was no good to go and recruit for corporate and businesses if you didn't understand how corporate and business worked. So excellence was the benchmark. It was also excellence was a benchmark, but it was also about fun. So there was a lot of fun, right? So, there was nothing for Andrew to walk through the office when he landed in Melbourne and football started being thrown and passed down the hallways with him as he walked through. So there was a lot of fun, but it was balanced with a lot of hard work. So it was that whole play hard, work hard. And people kind of go, well, that was the culture of the 90s. And maybe it was, but it's also a great culture because you lift each other up, you support each other, and the playing hard together actually means that you've always got people to lean into. So as leaders, and they didn't ask you to go anywhere they hadn't been,
mm.
right? There was never anywhere that they asked you to go that they hadn't been. There was never a standard they asked you to achieve that they didn't exemplify themselves. And there was both Jeff and Andrew.
Mm. Wow. Powerful, really powerful stuff. So you're wondering the value in being a podcast guest. Think about it. You want to build your personal brand. Is it important as ever? And coming on this show allows you to do just that. You're able to leverage our audience, but not only that, you're able to leverage the content from this podcast as you clock up the hours someone spends with you. The longer time someone spends listening to your story, your solutions in the marketplace allows you to do something special. It allows you to build a community and build a brand. You can leverage the community here, but you can also leverage the content from this show to be able to use where? On LinkedIn. LinkedIn is where you're going to shine. LinkedIn is where you're going to generate leads. So whoever you are, you want to come and tell your story. You want to be able to come in and be a guest that allows you to build your brand. Link in the description, we'll get in touch. So join our waiting list to feature on the Rubasha Family Podcast. Talking on your journey, what fascinates you about speaking? Like, what is it about it? And I like how you said it, with when it comes to pitching and selling and what makes a good salesperson, right? How do you get someone to, give you their money, right? Like,
Yeah,
what
yeah.
have you seen that?
I just had the Jerry Maguire thing, show me the money.
Yeah.
But the simple thing is that when you learn how to use your words, your future changes. So I was really off the tracks, and we're not going to go into the detail of that, but I was really off the tracks, and learning how to use my words and learning how to sell and to pitch and to speak in a business context, first of all, really changed my future. And I see that happen all the time. So if we teach an entrepreneur how to tell their story in a way that gets attention and gets people leaning in and saying, I need you in my world, their future business changes. When we teach someone how to position properly through how they pitch, everything changes. And I've got thousands of examples now. When you teach someone how to sell properly, everything changes because cash is oxygen. So quite often when I was growing this business at the start, I'd be in lots of networking rooms, and particularly of women, right? And I would say, put your hands up if you want to make a difference, if you're here to make an impact. Everyone would put their hands up. And I say, okay, keep your hands up if you love sales. And everyone would put their hands down. And I'm like, you can't have one without the other. Cash is your oxygen. Sales is your oxygen, right? There are a lot of broke experts because they think that expertise and a great idea is enough. And it's not, right? And then there's the nuances of it. So, when I teach someone how to sell, there's a few key things that underpin. And number one is single step selling. Always ask for the next yes. Don't try to sell $1 million deal when you've never sold a $10,000 deal. Don't ask someone to choose this and also give them options. Like we've all fallen into the, give somebody 3 options. And that's true. The brain makes a better decision, but give them one option and 3 ways to invest, right? So single step selling and asking questions. People are shooting out proposals and, trying to close deals before they even understand, number one, what the problem is, number two, if they're a fit, and number three, if they even want to work with them. So teaching people how to ask great questions and then teaching people how to answer questions through story. And that's where storytelling comes into sales.
Wow.
If you really enjoyed this video, make sure to click here, and I'm sure you're going to love that one.